All right, today we're going to dive into a really profound story from the Quran. It's this incredible cosmic drama that kicks off with a rebellious fire and ends with a perfected light. This is the journey from Iblīs to Ahmad, and it's all about a deep imbalance and ultimately its restoration. So let's jump right in. So to really get this framework, we have to start with a huge question. What if the story of creation isn't just about some perfect, pristine beginning? What if it's actually about fixing a primal problem? What if the entire story of humanity, of all the prophets, is the grand solution to a spiritual equation that got thrown way off balance from the very start?
So where does this imbalance come from? Well, it all starts with this elemental conflict between two natures, a being made of earth and a being made of fire. And this isn't just some disagreement. In this framework, this is the event that introduces a kind of spiritual entropy into the whole system.
I mean, just look at the contrasts here. On one side, you have Adam. He's made from humble clay, this really receptive material. But then he's infused with the divine breath, with light. And on the other side, you have Iblīs, made of pure, smokeless fire. When he's commanded to bow, that fire just flares up into pure pride. It's energy without mercy, power with zero humility.
And this is the key takeaway, right? The clash creates this unbalanced equation, where defiant fire overpowers the receptive clay. You can almost think of it like a law of spiritual physics being broken. This imbalance gets woven right into the fabric of creation. And here's where this huge cosmic story becomes intensely personal, because we, all of us, inherit both legacies. We carry Adam's potential for light, the spirit. But we also carry that spark of Iblīs's flame, that rebellious ego, which is called the nafs. And our whole life becomes this test, this constant struggle to see which one of those forces we're going to choose to feed.
Okay, so if we have this huge cosmic problem, how do we fix it? Well, the journey of restoration starts with the first stage of purification, and it's all centered on the story of Mūsā, that's Moses, and his incredible encounter on the mountain.
So up on Mount Sinai, Mūsā comes across a fire. But this is a totally different kind of fire. It's not rebellious. It's a fire that speaks with the divine command. And by submitting to it, by metaphorically dying to his own ego in that moment, Mūsā represents the first half of healing that cosmic flame. He tames its defiant side and turns it into a fire that obeys.
And what happens next is just wow. It's this beautiful picture of the power of that healed fire. Once Mūsā gets that inner balance right, he can actually command the outer world. The purified fire inside him literally commands the water in front of him, and the sea splits wide open. That inner submission leads to incredible outer mastery.
But Mūsā's story of submission, that's only half of the solution. Now we have to look at the other side of the coin, the second stage of this healing. And this part of the journey is shown to us through the intense trial of Maryam, or Mary.
Maryam's trial is something else. It's deeply internal. The pain she's going through is like this purifying fire she has to face completely alone. Her cry isn't about defiance, it's about total surrender to this overwhelming test. So this isn't about taming the fire anymore, it's about surviving it.
And right there, in that act of survival, she embodies the other half of the healed flame. By enduring this purifying pain without breaking, she demonstrates what you could call a fire that survives. And it's this incredible endurance that allows her to receive a divine gift, the Word of God, literally born from her womb.
So you see what's happening. We've got the two halves of a healed flame, the obedient fire of Mūsā and the enduring fire of Maryam. When you put those two principles together, they create the conditions for the next huge step in creation's journey back to balance.
So, let's just break it down real simple. Mūsā's path, it teaches the flame submission. Maryam's path, it teaches the flame endurance. And together, these two form a complete method for fixing that original imbalance left by the fire of Iblīs.
Okay, this timeline really lays it all out for us. You can see the whole flow, right? It goes from the initial problem, the unbalanced fire, to Adam's potential being awakened. Then you get the two-part healing through Mūsā and Maryam. And what's the result of this healed fire? It's ʿīsā, or Jesus, the light revealed, the word announced to the world.
But hold on, the journey doesn't just stop with the light being revealed. The whole framework is building towards the perfection of that light. This brings the entire cycle to its final, most complete, and ultimate stage.
And here it is, the whole journey, all in one place. You start with Iblīs and his unbalanced fire. Then Adam's awakened earth. Then comes the dual correction. The fire is purified through Mūsā, and it learns endurance through Maryam. This allows for ʿīsā, the light revealed. And finally, the whole cycle is completed with Ahmad, the perfected light, the ultimate restoration of balance.
And this brings the choice right back to each one of us.
We see two possible endings for that fire inside us. You have the path of Ibrāhīm, or Abraham. His submission to God was so complete that the fire he was thrown into literally became cool and safe. But then you have the path of the denier, the one who fuels their own ego, and they are consumed by that very same fire. Submission cools the flame, denial fuels it.
So when you put it all together, what do you have? You have what this framework calls the knowledge of ʿīsā. It's this sacred process where the divine word becomes light. That light then becomes guidance for all of humanity. And that guidance, when it's fully and completely realized, climaxes in the perfected state of Aḥmad.
And that brings us full circle right back to a question, but this time it's for you. This whole story, this cosmic map, it isn't just about the past. It's a mirror for your own soul. It asks all of us to look at the fire that burns within, our pride, our ego, our desires, and to seriously consider, is submission the very force that can cool that flame and turn it from a source of destruction into a source of light?